I am Timitope Ajijola Oluwaola. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has confirmed receiving letters of intent from 110 associations seeking registration as political parties. Chairman of the Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this on Wednesday, noting that the requests are being processed in line with the relevant laws and the Commission's regulations and guidelines. Professor Yakubu urged Nigerians, especially those interested in registering political parties, to consult the Commission's regulations and guidelines for political parties 2022, available on the Commission's website. The Commission has also released a full list of the 110 associations detailing their proposed names, acronyms, addresses, as well as the names of their chairmen and secretaries. Meanwhile, the resident electoral commissioner in Ekiti State, Bumi Omosheyindemi, on Wednesday pledged the Independent National Electoral Commission's commitment to upholding the highest standards of transparency and fairness in all the processes before, during, and after the 2026 Ekiti governorship election. Omosheyindemi charged political parties in the state to adhere strictly to the rules of engagement, particularly in the conduct of their primaries, submission of candidates and campaigns in accordance with the Electoral Act and the Commission's guidelines. The resident electoral commissioner gave the charge in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, during a meeting with political parties, where he officially served notice of the Ekiti state 2026 governorship election to them. It will be recalled that INEC had last month fixed July 20 for the 2026 governorship election in Ekiti State. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has reinstated Samuel Anyanwu as the National Secretary of the party, following its meeting with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Tuesday. The party has also suspended its planned National Executive Committee meeting, scheduled for June 30th, and instead, the planned meeting will be an expanded caucus. Acting National Chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, announced the reinstatement at a news conference in Abuja. The conference was attended by the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, and the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki. The decision to reinstate the National Secretary of the party followed Tuesday's meeting with the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, who explained why the commission cannot honor the invitation for the planned NEC meeting. INEC had turned down an invitation to the 100th NEC meeting of the PDP, citing the secretaryship tussle and how it has led to inconsistencies in signatures, contrary to the electoral body's guidelines for political parties.
But survival of the party is more than all of us, more than everything that you feel that you orient for. So I want to give the opportunity to do the right thing, and it is a decision most members of this party led by the organs of the party, leaders of the organs of the party, will have a caucus, expanded caucus, so that we will discuss extensively the way forward to NEC. That will be on the 30th. I will issue the notice. It's not going to be NEC, but an expanded focus, because as it is, like they told us, they don't have any notice NEC meeting from us, because I was the only person that signed the letter and no followed the guidelines. So at that caucus, we will take a decision for proper NEC, as well as all critical issues that borders on this party leading to our national convention. Thank you. political decision, I believe most of the press.
While the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said there is no need for a directive to reinstate Samuel Anyanwu as the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as he had already been functioning in that role. Wike stated this during the inauguration of the newly constructed interchange bridge from Wole Soyinka Way to Murtala Muhammad Expressway in the FCT. He also lamented what he described as a show of ego by some party members, saying that money does not solve everything. The position of the PDP National Secretary had been mired in controversy for months, as both Anyanwu and Sunday Udelkoye laid claim to it. However, the opposition party reinstated Anyanwu as its National Secretary following its meeting with the Independent National Electoral Commission on Tuesday. Staying with politics, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has cautioned parties in the suit filed against the Professor of Political Economy, Pat Utomi, in relation to his alleged planned shadow government to desist from acts capable of jeopardizing the outcome of the suit. Justice Omotosho noted that, according to the law, once parties are aware of the pendency of a suit, they should refrain from taking any further steps capable of rendering the outcome of such suit. The judge also added that there were always consequences for any party who engaged in such unlawful conduct, and said he would not hesitate to void any steps taken by any of the parties during the pendency of the case. He stated these are the resumed hearing in the suit filed by the Department of State Services against Utomi, who is the sole defendant. The judge's caution followed a complaint by the counsel for the DSS, Akinlolu Kehinde, who sought an order for the maintenance of the status quo because there had been new developments since the suit was filed. The Senate has passed the 2025 budget of Rivers State, totaling 1.485 trillion naira, following the third reading of the appropriation bill on the Senate floor today. The passage came after the upper chamber considered the report of the other committee on Rivers State during the Committee of Supply session. The bill seeks to authorize the issuance of the 1.4 trillion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Rivers State for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2025. The approved budget breakdown includes 120.8 billion naira for debt servicing, 287.38 billion naira for recurrent non-debt expenditure, and 1.077 trillion naira for capital expenditure. While supporting the passage of the bill, Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central, however, raised a concern regarding the additional 50 billion naira earmarked for the payment of outstanding pensions and gratuities. He asked the Senate Other Committee to conduct more rigorous oversight to ensure that the funds reach the rightful pension beneficiaries without delay. In May, President Bola Tinubu submitted the 2025 appropriation bill for Rivers State to the National Assembly for consideration, following the suspension of the state's House of Assembly.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Rivers State, the total sum of 1,485,662,592,442 naira only, of which 120 billion 809,305,904 naira only is for debt service, whilst 287 billion 376,727,373 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 1,700,000,000 and 7,250,859,164 naira only is for capital expenditure for the year ending the 31st day of December 2025. Third reading taken and passed. Let me thank the leader of the Senate and all the members of the committee that worked on this for expeditiously doing this for the good people of Rivers State and by implication Nigeria, and pray that when well is executed, this budget will bring more dividends of democracy to the good people of Rivers State, lead to peace, development, and prosperity for the good people of Rivers State. Congratulations.
In another development, there was commotion on the floor of the Senate following the submission and consideration of the ADA Committee report on the emergency rule in Rivers State, particularly regarding the screening and approval of the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RCEC. The session became contentious after lawmakers argued on the merit of nominating a non-indigene, Michael Ode, as chairman of RCEC, an appointment that drew strong objections from several opposition lawmakers. The Senate's minority leader, Abba Moro, expressed disappointment, pointing out that the earlier appointment of a sole administrator, also not from Rivers, had already raised concerns, and that the second appointment of a person from Cross River State only deepened the lack of ethics. He was supported by Senator Abdul Ningi. He questioned the rationale behind appointing an outsider to oversee elections in Rivers State. Senator Ali Ndume also weighed in, referencing the federal character principle and urging the Senate to consider local sensibilities. Despite the friction, when put to a voice vote, an overwhelming majority adopted the report, confirming the appointment of the chairman and members of RCEC.
Chairman, why I'm making this, let it be on record that myself, Senator Abdul Ningi, objects and observe that if this thing becomes the norm, it is not going to do well going forward, because I've been to Rivers State almost 40 years ago, and I know the quality of people in Rivers State. I do not see any logical reason why a Rivers man will not chair this electoral commission. That the committee has reported, I'm okay, but let it be on record that I don't see the necessity of having somebody from another state chairing a local election committee of another state.
And my distinguished colleagues, as my privilege, I also want to add my voice to this very, very important observation made by distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi. Let it be on record that I, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, I'm not against the appointment of whoever you recommended, but under the current circumstance and the fact that if today you want to interview 100 or even 1,000 qualified people for this position from Rivers, you will get it to choose from. Federal character, section 14.3 reflects that. And as he rightly said, we should not, as a Senate, just approve or think that what is being done is not against the Constitution. We are supposed to be guided by more than Constitution. We are supposed to be guided by the conscience. We are the highest decision-making body in this country politically. Please, please, I beg you in the name of God.
The second prosecution witness, Shegun Adeleke, in the alleged money laundering case instituted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, against the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. has told the Federal Capital Territory High Court that the former governor and his co-defendants never paid for a property at AFAB Company. The two other defendants are Umar Oricha and Abdul Salam Hudu. During the day's proceedings, Adeleke added that he had no dealings with the three defendants throughout the transactions on the property. When asked to also confirm if the names of the defendants appeared on any of the transaction documents, the witness, who is a manager at AFAB Property Limited, said he did not know any of the three defendants. The first prosecution witness, Fabian Unwara, had also earlier confirmed to the court that none of the three defendants in the case paid money into the account of his company, AFAB Property Limited. Unwara said he knows the former governor, but maintained that his name did not feature in the transaction being referred to. Now to security, tragedy struck again in Mango district of the Basar local government area of Plateau State, where 3 family members were killed on Tuesday while harvesting crops on their farm. According to reports, 2 others sustained severe injuries due to machete cuts and were receiving medical treatment in Jos, the state capital. The attack coincided with the visit of members of the fact-finding committee on incessant attacks on the community to engage leaders and stakeholders, including security agencies, at the local government council secretariat. The chairman of the committee, who is a retired army officer and former commander of Operation Safe Haven, retired Major General Nicholas Rogers, expressed dismay at the attack, even with the presence of members who were making efforts to find lasting solutions to the incessant attacks. He described the incident as heartbreaking and urged the Irigwe youths not to resort to self-help or reprisal, as the government was more determined to find a solution and enduring peace in the area. The attack came less than a week after 13 persons, mostly children and the elderly, were killed and houses burnt in Juan and Manja communities in the Bakus and Manga local government areas of the state by suspected herdsmen. Some armed bandits and Nigerian soldiers were killed on Tuesday during coordinated attacks on military operating bases in parts of Kaduna and Niger states. The attacks occurred in the Kwanar Dutse, Meriga, and Boka areas of Niger State, as well as Anwan, Ture, and Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. The bandits launched a simultaneous 3-pronged assault on the forward operating bases in the affected areas. In response, troops from both land and air components engaged the attackers in several counteroffensives, resulting in the deaths of several bandits. However, the army confirmed that some of its personnel also paid the supreme price during the confrontations. Confirming the incident in a statement posted on its official X handle on Wednesday, the Nigerian army disclosed that 4 soldiers sustained gunshot wounds and were receiving treatment. Moving on, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has named the newly completed Lafia flyover and underpass after President Bola Tinubu. Sule made the announcement during the official inauguration of the project in Lafia headquarters. In Lafia, headquarters of Lafia local government area of Nasarawa State on Wednesday. The governor said the project was inspired by President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, adding that the project was completed due to prudent resource management. According to him, the state was able to carry out the landmark infrastructure without resorting to borrowing. The 1-kilometer dual facility is now officially named the Bola Tinubu Exchange Road. Earlier, while inaugurating the project, President Tinubu appreciated Governor Sule for focusing on initiatives that directly improve the lives of the people.
To all of you, and celebrate the joy of a transformative Nigeria that is emerging and coming up. We've turned the corner of depression, of uncertainty. We've cut the waste. You've listened to a daily alake, and the economic dynamism that we are facing. But the hope is here. From this moment on, you will have no regrets. I could see hard work coming from A.A. Sule, determined to use the resources available to him for the benefit, stability, and prosperity of Nasarawa State. Sule is doing well because Ebola Tinubu is doing well too. Those who have triggered the alley politics and the perdition of coalition, suddenly, just don't pay them any attention. They are the political IDPs. Don't give them a home. The hope is here. Sule is doing well. We will support whatever a Governor Sule brings about to work harder for the prosperity and renaissance of Nasarawa State. That's what we stand for. I'm not geared for what they try to pull on me.
Operators of the Lagos State Rapid Response Squad have arrested 2 suspected traffic robbers said to be notorious for terrorizing commuters around the K2 and Mile 2 axis of the state. This was made known in a statement shared by the Rapid Response Squad in X on Wednesday. The suspects, identified as Yemi Akbaraujo, popularly known as Asa, and Samuel Adekunle, were arrested around 11 a.m. on Tuesday by RRS officers patrolling the area. According to the police, the suspects and 2 others who are currently at large had last week robbed a passerby of 25,000 naira after pestering him for money. When the men attempted to assist them, they reportedly assaulted him and forcefully took his cash. The RRS commander, CSP Shola Jajaloye, said the arrests followed the directive of the state